Okay, time now for our rants and raves of the week, starting with you, Dan.
I have a rant. Now, I have to be careful. I don't want to get in trouble here. But I have a rant for people who have been criticizing newspapers in particular for putting Bill Clinton on the front page on Thursday instead of Hillary Clinton, even though she, I guess, officially got the nomination that night. Bill Clinton was the big speaker. And yet the Seattle Times actually apologized.
I know.
Every single paper in America, many papers around the world, were already teed up to put Hillary Clinton on the front page on Friday. And they did. That was the right thing to do. That was her big night. This was nothing.
It was
a non-issue.
No, they should have put her on. She should have been on the front page. Sorry.
I wouldn't even have thought about this as a controversy until I started reading some of the complaints about it. But I agree with you, Dan. He was the story.
Reverse it.
Plus, you would have had to
reverse it. Would that ever have happened? No.
Yes, it would have.
No,
you wouldn't have
no,
to. Yes, it would have.
Yes, it would
And
have.
you'd have to use a file shot anyway, unless you know.
She was on the video screen.
Yes,
I will say, I think that Dan is correct in saying that the thinking behind that was not primarily driven by any sort of sexism, but I do think it was driven by some pretty dumb editorial decisions because I think her photo should have been on the front page.
Thank you.
All right, Kelly.
But I will say it's also the campaign's fault, because usually what campaigns do is they have the candidate come out, make a final guest appearance on with a big speaker, and that gives people the shot.
She was on the video screen. They could work around it. Come on. All right, I have a rave.
You're wrong.
No, I'm not. I'm so sorry to see Bill Rodin leave the Times. He announced his retirement. He was 35 years at the Times.
Wow.
And as he said, 26 consecutive years writing the Sports of the Times column. He's still going to do a few little things for the Times, but he is fantastic. He's insightful. I think his book, $40 Million Slaves, is one of the best books about the intersection between and the pressure on African-American athletes and their community and other forces, corporate forces. I mean, he's just really good. And it's a voice I'm going to miss. And he's made his mark at the Times, and I just wanted to give tribute to him.
All right.
Really good.
Josh.
I have a rave for Josh Marshall of the site Talking Points Memo. It's a political site that's been around for a long time, has had some reporting successes in the past. But this week, Marshall was really the first person to start putting together all the various pieces of evidence we have about Donald Trump's relationships with Russia and with Putin. There was a lot of smoke, and he started putting the smoke together to where people started to think maybe there's some fire there as well. His site has covered a lot of issues over the years and has had some big reporting successes, but I think this was a nice standout moment for him and has really driven the conversation for a couple days.
Yeah, it's a really good piece, the one you're talking about.
Of course, Donald Trump sort of tried to walk back that whole Putin
Well, he
thing.
said, well, I don't have any investments in Russia, when the question
also
was,
said he
does
didn't
Russia
know
have
Putin.
investments in you? Right.
But there's 5 pieces of videotape of him in the past saying, I met Putin, we talked, we
And he
walked.
tried to walk back his statement that he'd be happy to ditch
said he was
NATO.
joking.
Well,
Yeah.
he didn't say he was joking about ditching NATO. There's so many things to put together here.
Yeah. All right, who's next? Adam.
I think that's me. I have a rave for a journalist named Mahir Zeynalov. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. He writes for the Huffington Post and Al Arabiya. He on Twitter, today I think, my sense of time is a little foggy, but he has been chronicling, maybe it started yesterday, chronicling the arrest of journalists as President Recep Erdogan consolidates power in Turkey after that failed coup. So what Zeynalov has been doing is tweeting out portraits of journalists and writing a little bio of who they are and why their work was important before they were arrested. What's happening in Turkey is incredibly troubling. We should all, a lot of Americans don't pay close attention to international news. We should be watching this. And I also would urge any media members who have a chance to question Donald Trump to ask him for his take on this massive arrest campaign of members of the media, because Trump has expressed broad support for the way Erdogan responded to that coup, and we should know how he feels about what he's doing when it comes to the media.
He should be careful, too. His life could be in danger, I would think.
I'm not sure where he's based, but it's a really gutsy thing that he's doing.
All right, and finally tonight, I have a rave. These are all personal raves we've had tonight, and this one is for Mike Fernandez from Channel 5, who's been with the station 41 years. Spent an additional 5 years he was at Channel 7. He ran the sports department. He's been in the news departments. He's a really great guy, really a lot of fun, and a talented producer, a great writer. He got to know the sports teams really, really well and worked with Mike Lynch and all those guys all these years. And right now I think he's in some management position over there at Channel 5. But Mike, you're the best, and I know everybody at Channel 5 is going to miss you. And I so enjoyed the few years well, maybe it's 15 years. Got to work with. It wasn't that few. Mike was there when I started in 1979, so he's one of the guys who's been with the station, I think, almost since it went on the air in 1972. So good luck. What are you going to do, Mike? Going down to the? He's probably going to the vineyard.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm all for that. Notice 2 sports raves here,
Yeah.
and I had 1. It's amazing. I just want credit for that.
Have fun. All right, that is it for our show. Tell us what you think. Email us, tweet us, or leave a comment. We're always on at beatthepress.org.